When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Make We Talk Transport this evening. With me, I have the president of the Jamaica Owners and how go again, Louis? Sorry,
Jamaica Association.
Jamaica Association
of Owners and Operators.
Yes, I haven't said it in a long while. Welcome to the program, Mr. Barton. We're waiting the president of the Transport Operator Development Sustainable Services, Egerton, Newman. We are waiting Mr. Finnegan also to come on the program. And the topic this evening is gunmen targeting bus and taxi operators while the Jamaican government stand by and look on. Mr. Barton, welcome to the program once more, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Jeffrey. And before you even go no further, I just want to tell you that I really enjoy your introductory song, your theme song. It is nice. It is sending a message. Serious.
Thank you.
It is much better than what we had before.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Mr. Barton, what is really going on in the transport sector? We're in the police is saying that is not 70-something police officers, transport operators who died. Yeah. And you're saying it's 70-something.
Yeah. All right. Well, the thing is, let me kind of give a kind of summary of the thing.
Yes.
The three associations, the guys who you invited tonight, Mr. Newman, Mr. Finnegan, and myself, we had a joint press conference, and a press release.
Newman, hold on, Mr. Newman.
Yes, I'm here. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, but we're not seeing you.
Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why. Am I too I don't know why. I'm trying to find out why I'm not seeing you.
You have a young person there to unmute the camera for you.
Well, I just adjusted mine, and Newman is younger than me, so he'll find it eventually.
Anyway, Mr. Barton, go ahead while Mr. Newman do his thing on his mic there. Go ahead.
Yes, so we had a joint statement, and in the statement, we said that 77 operators were killed so far for this year, right? So that is just one aspect of it, because what we're really talking about is safety and security, and I really want to emphasize that. But on the tip of the pyramid, the safety and security pyramid, is the 77 murders.
Yes.
The news media, especially nationwide, picked it up and call it, run with it, because they start to emphasize the difference between what we have as 77 and what the police have. But the police told them, so that's another problem. The police told them 30-something originally. Then they came on and the police said they can confirm 7, but they are investigating another 37, right? So if that is so, then that will bring it up to 45, right? But I'm showing out those numbers, Jeffrey.
Hold on to me, Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond, hold on a minute. The police obviously don't have their facts straight then. Because if
Thank
they
you.
come out with a different number and they come in with a number, that makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. But and it goes deeper than that, Jeffrey, much deeper. Because the police force right now cannot say how many operators were murdered during for this year. As I said, they're investigating 30 something, probably another 37. So therefore, if all of those confirmed, if all of those 37 are confirmed, then it means that there are 40 something operators who will get killed. But our investigation, what was reported to us from our membership, is that we get a count of 77. Um, and that is the conflict between whether it is 77 or 44 or 7. But I maintain, Mr. Jeffrey, that we're talking about safety and security in the transport sector, and not safety and security for the operators alone, but it's for the passengers also, and that is what we want to emphasize.
Entire Jamaica?
In the entire Jamaica, the system is dictating some things that they are not. Let me back up. If they are thinking that it's only 7 operators that get killed for the year, then they would pay less attention to the sector in terms of security. And they have historically, from I have been in this system, the police force have not been paying too much or any have not provided any sense of security to us as operators and therefore to the general public.
All they do is to provide a ticket book to give the poor pauperizing bus and taxi drivers tickets left, right, and center.
Exactly. That's the thing. And you could have said that better, because that is what the JCF is supposed to do based on their operation. They're supposed to keep the bus and taxi operators in line. It is not to protect them, it's to keep them in line. So you give them ticket for the slightest little infraction. And the infractions are created by the system. Because if you know Kingston, almost every curb wall in Kingston is a yellow line. And if the police see that you stop there, then they're going to give you a ticket. So that accounts for a great amount of tickets that the transport operator has been getting and has been in the news over the past year, how much tickets we have, right? But it's because of the system that dictate that caused that. But in addition to that, Jeffrey, it's not just the police force, because I'm looking at the social and economic survey of Jamaica.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere in that survey that shows how much contribution is made by transport operators to the economy. And I remember telling a previous minister that the amount that we calculate that we contribute to the society. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no, but he told me that my figures are not credible. But they have nothing to disprove it.
So if your figures are not credible, why is it that the deputy commissioner, it wasn't the deputy commissioner of police?
If it was the deputy commissioner? No, this is a minister. Are you seeing me? I'm getting a call.
Hold on there. I've lost your audio.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. It's back up.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I was saying to you.
I don't know where I can get you now. Oh, damn it. Jeffrey?
Yes.
I have a problem here. Somebody called me and just knocked you out, and I'm not getting the video.
Okay, so why don't you come off and come back in?
I don't know how to get back here. It's on YouTube, right?
No. I send you the link. So go back to the same link I sent to you on your phone. The restream link.
Okay. Let me.
All right. We're speaking to Louis Barton of Jatu. We're trying. I hope Mr. Newman come back on. Egerton Newman of the Transport Towards the Development Sustainable Services. We're speaking about security in the public transport sector. Is it that the government? There you go. I can see you now.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you hearing it properly?
I'm hearing you loud and clear and everything.
All right.
What I was saying to you.
Your
What I
sound
was
is
saying
down.
to you. Are you hearing me?
I'm sorry, I just can't operate this.
Are you hearing me, Mr. Barton? You're hearing me?
I'm hearing you, but it's very low.
All right, that means that you have to come off and come back in then. We're speaking to Louis Barton, the president of JATU, re-security of the transport sector. Mr. Barton, let's go on and come back in, and you can get the audio back up again.
Well, I'm gonna come off and then sign back on. All right?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. I think I have Mr. Newman back up now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Newman. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. It has been a long time.
Yes, it has been a long time, Sir Newman, but what to do? We're still here. Louis is gonna go off and come back in. Mr. Newman, question for you, sir. I've been listening to the news out of Jamaica. And let me read this thing properly before I jump and say that something is that don't go that way. Yes, it is the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fitzbailey. Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Fitzbailey, says several taxi operators have been murdered since the start of the year. He was dismissing claimed that 76 operators of the public transport sector has been murdered since 2023. The number was released by Jamaica Association of Transport Operators and Jamaica Association of Transport Owners and Operators, JATU, and Transport Operators Development Sustainability Services, TADS, and All Vice Taxi Group. Mr. Newman, is it that the police they do know what they're talking about, sir?
I think there's a challenge in terms of counting the figures of the dead bodies of public transport operators out there. And so the wires got crossed because we have been counting since the start of the year, and our count shows us 77. We reduced it by 76.
Yeah.
The count of the Jamaica Constabulary Force shows 7 and some 37 that they're reviewing at this moment. Now, I have 2 discussions with the Deputy Commissioner of Police, and at both occasions he said he's reviewing about 37. There could be those who maybe stepped out of the vehicle and is shot, or those persons alight in the vehicle and got shot. So he could not confirm those. Now, I did not hear that from him, but he said that publicly yesterday afternoon. So I want to accept what he said, but I don't want to go there. I want to see one taximan get shot and killed, and that is of major concern to us.
Yeah.
We have the numbers, we have the numbers, and we're going to make the numbers, we're going to present the numbers shortly. I'm sorry, Mr. Finnegan is not here, but we have stats of about 42 right now, and we're still counting, right? So we have the information, we're going to put it out there, but, and I apologize to Mr. Bailey, my good friend yesterday afternoon, and I will do so again.
Before you apologize, Mr. Newman, sorry to cut you. Let's listen to what Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Fitzbailey, said on the famous radio station nationwide.
Yes.
We have on record 7 taxi operators that were killed. We are trying to clarify our records. There are some, for example, we have people exiting a taxi that was killed, one moving towards a taxi that was killed. We have not established whether or not those persons are taxi operators. We are going to re-look at our records, but for up to the 21st of August, we had only 7.
So okay. I'm trying to figure out something here. Mr. Barton, are you hearing us?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay. Good, thanks. I'm trying to figure out something here now. Egerton Newman. Mr. Newman.
Yes.
If the public if you in the public transport sector, the presidents of JETU, the presidents of CADS, and the president of All Voice, Lauren Finnegan, Oscar Finnegan, can say that you all know what you're talking about. So I don't understand why the police is saying one figure and they saying another figure.
Let me tell you something, my brother. Since August 21, we have more than 10 taxi operators skilled. And I think Lauren is on, I saw his name there.
Yes, he is.
We can tell you the name and address of those 10 operators, all operators since the 21st of August. Now, are we saying that no taximan has been killed since between January 1 and August 31? No, we need to look at it, And people buy what the police said, people buy what the certain media house said, but they're not going to buy what taximan said because nobody respect the views of transport operators. But I'm saying to you, we have a great deal of name and numbers of transport operator, which we are going to put to the public next week, Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. I want Mr. Finnegan to come in. Ask Finnegan. Mr. Finnegan? I have with me former senior journalist of Roots FM. Mr. Thompson, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
I hope Mr. Finnegan can get his audio in because I'm not hearing Oscar Finnegan from the All Voice Taxi Group. I'm also waiting on One Voice Taxi Group on our good friend Steve Hessin. Dudley, welcome to the program, Dudley.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
Hi, Dudley.
The topic
Hello.
is Mr. Newman talking to. The topic is gunmen. Gunmen is targeting bus and taxi operators, while the government stand by and look at. A question for you, Dudley Thompson. You have been around, you and I have been around the industry for many years.
Yes.
Own taxis, but we have been. What is the views on all of this, Dudley? Where taximen are just dying left, right, and center by the hands of criminals.
I think it's a twofold thing. It's a twofold thing. You have some taxi operators are genuinely going out there to be good operators to carry the commuters, while you have some persons out there who are disguising as operators but are in other kind of shikini business.
Yes.
So when those persons are mixed up now and the cronies come to attack them to the public, it come across as you're attacking taxi operators. But again, I think what needs to be done in the beginning, initial stage. The authority need to screen persons properly before they give them a badge to operate. And also, those who operate as robots or unregularized.
Yes.
Sometimes those are the problem. You can't screen those because they're not regularized.
But Dudley, hold on here, Dudley. You scream the bus and taxi operators.
The authority need to.
What we're saying is this: the government of Jamaica cannot protect its citizens when it comes on to the hoodlums, the criminals that is taking over the country. Why is
all right? All right.
When you're finished, gonna have look Mr. Finnegan, I'm not hearing him. I'm gonna have Louis Barton come on in.
All right. You must understand that in Jamaica, as we all know, Jamaica is governed by two political parties right now. I've checked the history of those parties. Their backbone is criminality, because I remember at one point I at least have 29 gangs in Jamaica that are affiliated to both PNP and GLP. So if you have two parties in Jamaica who have strong gang affiliation, those parties they cannot solve Jamaica's crime. And secondly, most of Jamaica's crime is that the police are a political issue. It's a parenting issue in Jamaica. We keep on seeing crime as police and government thing, but actually it's a parental issue. If we can fix every household, if we can fix the household, I beg things fix the community, we fix the country. But we cannot fix Jamaican crime without fixing each household. That's the main problem. We cannot solve crime in Jamaica. Cannot.
Hold on there before I come on, Louis Barton. Mr. Finnegan, are you hearing us? Mr. Finnegan? Not getting asked Finnegan at all. Louis, go ahead.
All right, let me see. My brother Dudley, how are you doing?
Yeah. Not too bad at all.
All right, great to see you again.
Yeah,
but,
man.
I agree with you. There's a parental problem in Jamaica, and that goes to everybody in Jamaica, for every household in Jamaica. Children not going to school, they're not getting proper parental. There's no brought up sick. You remember that word?
Yeah.
But I want to concentrate on what the problems that the transport sector have, right? JATU, since inception, have been called for a national public passenger transportation policy. If you have a policy, then you know who is to pick you up at 3:30 and take you to 3 miles. What type of transportation, right? What type of transportation gonna take you from Montego Bay to Falmouth, right? All of those things cause is a haphazard transportation we have. Anybody can just drive up to your foot or to the bus stop if you're lucky to have a bus stop and pick you up and take you to wherever you're going. There is no organized way of carrying passengers here and there. And because of that helter-skelter thing in the transport sector, the demand for transportation is higher than the supply. The supply is we who supplying the buses and the taxis and the JUTC and the Montego Bay bus service also. So there's a demand Montego Bay Metro. There's a demand for transportation, high demand for transportation, and then there's a small supply of operators. So what you find is that the illegal operators, realizing that there is a small supply of legal operators, they take advantage of it. And as Dudley was saying, because of the gang and the brought up that we have in Jamaica, you just do whatever you feel like doing. But I want to maintain, as far as the economy is concerned, and a kind of bias towards the economy, is the economy that sets this criminal activity in force. If you don't have a proper balance between the supply of vehicles and the demand for vehicles, then you're going to have an imbalance. And when you have an imbalance, all hell breaks loose. And that is where we are now. Hell is breaking loose on the sector. And let me, one other thing, Jeffrey, I just want to emphasize, as I did before, this release that we sent out. And by the way, I hope Dudley, I hope you got one, Dudley, because I remember seeing your. Oh well, yeah. Forgive me your email address.
Sure.
This release was specifically about safety and security in the transport sector. Is the safety of the operators and the passengers and the security of both of them. But the station who run with our thing, they're emphasizing these numbers. I'm saying that the numbers, it might be important, but it's not. That is just the tip of the iceberg, because there are many other safety and security issues that was in that press release, and they are not being discussed. The extortion, the not paying of fee. It's if we don't have, and that's, I hear. Sorry, I'm running on too much, but if we don't have a system, we have a new public passenger transportation policy. Now we don't have one. If we don't have one of those, then what we're having now will never be corrected.
Okay. I am trying to get Mr. Finnegan Mr. Finnegan, are you hearing us? Mr. Finnegan, unmute your mic, sir. If you can hear us, that means your mic is muted. Unmute your mic. Mr. Finnegan? I'm hearing it all. Sir Newman, come on back in here.
Yes, I'm here.
What is okay? We have the problem that we're facing right now. Where operators and the entire Jamaica is surrounded by hoodlands. And the Prime Minister who promised the country that they can see with the windows and door open. Still, what is Jatu and Tad's plan to assist the bus and taxi operators? With the, are you going to get the police on board? Is the minister, the new minister of transportation, is he going to come on board with you guys? That's what you can do. But the fact of the matter is, if they can't stand the well, go ahead, Mr. Newman. Let me not get that part.
Yeah, because in our press release, we put together about five different points of recommendations to the public and, of course, to the government, and it will be sent off to the minister. Matter of fact, the minister have a copy of it. We are asking for a couple of things that we believe can address the problem. One of the things that jumps out to me right now is the establishment of a special police unit that will focus directly, like the previous unit, that will focus directly on public transport order. If we have that, here is a unit, let's say, with 50 or 100 police officers who will focus on the transportation sector, not just to ticket them, but to work with them. And any untoward activity within certain space, like in the halfway tree space, that I have great concern about, they will be in that space 24/7 to give us this sort of protection. Papine, downtown Kingston, I call it the big tree. Those spaces, right? There's a wall that part the church, cemetery, and Mullines Road. I'm afraid of that wall. Over that wall is a haven for what we call extortionists. And when they see the police come, they jump that wall. Those are some of the things that we would like to see addressed. The minister has established what is called a National Public Transportation Steering Committee. We would want this situation. They say 7, we say 76. But we want it now to go on the agenda of this National Steering Committee for the minister to look at it and to make it priority. The next 2 months from now, October, November, December, is the silly season when every man who dig up them hand nickel want the money. And the transport sector is going to be the target. Yes?
Why you call it silly season?
Because that is the time when the guys come out to put on more pressure on the transport operators to get money from them. They come out as backup, loader, and extortionists.
My God.
Right? And right now, the last few deaths of taxi operators, their car was taken away, they were killed, thrown from their vehicle, and the vehicle taken away. Right? And so we're finding out that this is a challenge that we have, and it needs to be addressed. So if we have police in the space, then we'll be, somewhat protected. So these are things that we're looking at, and we would like it to be addressed ASAP. We are calling now for a meeting with the police high command and the minister and the head of the transport authority, the chairman, who is a former commissioner of police. So we can all sit around a table. Don't point fingers, but work out a logistic plan to deal with the safety and security of public transport operator, especially in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region.
Louis Barton.
Yes, sir. Having problems again.
You want to pick up from where Mr. Newman left off, and I have oh Lord. You want to pick up? Are you hearing us?
I'm hearing you, yeah. But I'm just not seeing you. I don't know what I did.
I'm seeing you. I am seeing you with your bald head.
Really? Oh, okay. Good.
Mr. Finnegan, are you hearing us now? Mr. Barton, you want to
Yes,
pick
sir.
up from where Mr. Newman just left off a while ago?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to pick up from where he stepped off. I just want to I want to emphasize to everybody, you see, that this is not a it is not a murder. This thing is not about murder or even it is about safety and security, and safety and security is for the public and our drivers and conductors. And let me say, a number of people, I was in a meeting with some taximen, some busmen yesterday, and they're against the people we call backup men. But if we have a proper system,
Yes.
a new public personal transportation policy where
Yeah.
backup men who do provide some service. That's the thing that we're losing, you know. We're not looking at those who provide in service and try to defend those, because the
So
police
hold on,
and
hold on for me, Mr. Bond. You're saying to me that the backup persons who say the Dudley 3 mile route FM 3 mile.
yeah,
You're saying to me that those people are okay?
Jeffrey, I am saying that
What is wrong with them, Jeffrey?
the
They're
backup
okay. What
men,
is wrong with them?
Yes.
no,
Because they have, sorry, Louis, but they
yeah.
are trying to provide a niche for themselves so they can put food on their table by saying to the passengers, this taxi man is going to 3 mile. You don't want to take it? Now, if you can train those men and say, all right, make them be park attendants so that they see the car park good, and when the car is clean, and they can say to the passenger, these cars are going on a particular direction, and they are organized so that the taximan will give them a little something, so they can leave instead of leaving them now, and they can become the extortionists instead of the park attendants.
I have with me now Mr. Lorraine Finnegan. Mr. Finnegan hearing us? You're here, Mr. Finnegan? No. Mr. Barton and Mr. Newman, you hear Mr. Finnegan?
I heard a sound there. Not sure.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm on.
Yes, he's on now. He's on.
Okay,
It's better now. Yes, it's better now.
yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Finnegan,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the program, sir. What is going on in the public transport sector in the sense of the gunmen targeting bus and taxi operators? I hear you on a radio program yesterday evening. Can you tell us here on the Make We Talk program what is the plans of your one voice taxi group, all voice taxi group, rather?
As it is now, Mr. Tavares and members of the panel, what our plans are is to have, join with TADS and JATO, to have a weekly sensitization program to enlighten our investors and operators and taking on personal security measures for the safety of their lives. And this program will be starting next week, Friday.
Yes.
In addition to that, on Tuesday, the 3rd of October, we will be declaring Tuesday for a day of mourning within the public transportation sector. And we will be doing a tour from Manor Park to downtown Kingston. And along that corridor, we'll be choosing strategic location. We will stop for a brief moment to address operators, investors, and commuters. Other plans that we are looking at, which are still on the drawing board, is to lobby with government through the National Security Ministry to set up a unit. The press release document says a special police force, but we want to correct it. It is a unit in the police force, similar to the Prada larceny unit, where we will have, my word, because I don't know the correct electronic word, a panic button, where if we see suspect that we are going into danger, we could touch it and that it register immediately to that unit, that special unit that will be asking to set up.
So hold on there.
But
before you go further, Mr. Finnegan, that unit you guys are setting up, is it attached to the Jamaica Constabulary Force?
No, I'm not saying that we are setting it up. It is one of the recommendations we are making to government.
Okay, so the recommendation
we can
the recommendation making
yes.
to government then, that means that government would have to attach that to the JCF and the JDF.
Yes,
Yeah.
just like the predal loss in the unit, is just that the difference is ours will be electronically connected.
Mm-hmm.
But separate and apart from what we'll be asking from government, my position is that we as investors and operators must also take into serious consideration our own security protection.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why the four groups have decided to start the sensitization program effective next week, Friday. So that is the plans from the public transportation sector as it related to operators and investors.
Mm-hmm.
From the general arena, I am saying
Uncle Oscar,
that the government of Jamaica.
Hold on for me, sir. You're live on air. Wait your turn for me, please. So if anything, go ahead.
So we are saying that it is the sole responsibility of the government of Jamaica to protect the citizens of the country.
Indeed.
They came to us and in their manifesto on the campaign trail asked us to put them in power to govern the country for us and on our behalf. And within that governance, it includes national security for the citizens of the country.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, for the last 7 years, the present administration has been using state of emergencies and curfew to curb crime. And the only time state of emergencies and curfews are called is when there is a flare-up of crime in a particular area.
Yeah.
So in other words, the government is not proactive. What they are doing is reacting to a situation when it occurs, and that cannot be any substantial or any acceptable crime fighting method.
Yes.
So while we are affected in the sector,
yes,
directly, we have to argue from the point of view that crime is a serious situation as it relates to the country of Jamaica. So I want it to be publicly known that we in this sector are concerned for our citizens in general, but in particular, the onslaught on the public transportation sector has now become a major concern to us. Mr. Tavares,
yes, sir.
in 2021, we lost 37 operators and investors. In 2022, we lost 58.
My God.
And we have been relatively silent on it for the 2 years apart from President Newman will always be on the airwaves talking about it.
Yeah.
But in 2023, it has become so alarming that we have decided, no, we need to now go public with it. And then Monday.
Mr. Finnegan, hold a while for me, please. Let me say something to you here. Because I'm trying to figure out something here that was said to the Jamaican people by the Deputy Commissioner of Police. And I'll read it. Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, says 7 taxi operators has been murdered since the start of the year. He was dismissing the claim that 76 operators of the public passenger vehicle have been murdered. That number was released by the Jamaica Association of Transport Owners and Operators. Jatu, and also All Vice Taxi Group. So, Mr. Finnegan, what you're saying to us here is a total different figure.
The figure quoted there by the DCP is totally incorrect. And it is incorrect on a number of grounds.
Yes.
One of the grounds is I personally have attended 27 either funeral, candlelight, or setup of 27 operators. I've not gone to any grave digging. So any any funeral I won't be able to attend. I ensure that I go to either the candlelight or the setup or both. I have attended 27 since the start of this year. In addition to that, when President Newman called me, and I want you all to listen carefully,
yes,
on the 13th of August, 2023, and told me that because we were speaking out strongly that we lost 61 operators at the time. He got a call from DCP Fitzbailey.
Yes.
Fitzbailey was refuting the number of 61. But Fitzbailey acknowledged the number of 37. President Newman called me on the 13th. And I said to President Newman, I am going to make the effort to tabulate the numbers. On the 14th of August, I sat down right on my bed in my bedroom. And I start to go through the One Voice platform where we were before.
Yes.
And then I start to go through the All Voice platform. And I start to go through the TADS platform before I left TADS.
Yes.
And on the 14th, at minutes to 10, I sent Mr. Newman a list of 29 names, the date they were killed, and the location they were killed on. And at the end of that message, I said, President Newman, I'm going to get 1 hour sleep and get up and start to complete the list.
All right.
President Newman, the books are set up, can show that that information was sent to Mr. Newman on the 14th of August.
Hold on there for me.
Now,
hold on there for me. Hold on there. Remember, we're going to say, if you're just joining us, we're speaking to Egerton Newman, president of TADS, Louis Barton, president of J2, Oscar Finnegan, president of All Vice Taxi Group, and former senior journalist at Roots 6.1 FM, Dudley Thompson. And I want to make this clear. This is my opinion, and this is me saying this. You see how the police, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, can be saying what Egerton Newman, All Voice, and Louis Barton is saying is not true. That is to show you that they're not giving the Jamaican people the right crime figure of how much murder happening in this country. The people of this country must see to it that when they come on national radio and TV, they give us some numbers that they put up together. That makes no sense. Now, I will put my head on a chopping block that I believe what Oscar Finnegan, Louis Barton, and Egerton Newman is saying about the numbers of taxi operators being killed in this country. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has no iota of how the crime figures is going on in this country. So Mr. Finnegan continues. They're not going to have Egerton Newman come on back in and Louis and Dudley. Go ahead, Mr. Finnegan.
So members of the panel, we started from the 4th of January. The 4th of January 2023 was when the first operator was killed. And then we tabulate along that journey until the 14th of August because of a number of other engagements. And just to let you all know that I've spent November to July, 7 days a week in public transportation. So at the end of July, I take a break to do some work at home in Portland, and on that basis, I stand on a bit to complete the tabulation.
Right.
So if I didn't stand down on the 14th of August, I would have had the complete figures. And since that time, since the 14th of August, we have lost, just in September alone, 7 more operators.
So hold on there.
Now these figures.
Hold on there, Mr.
Yeah.
So the 7 operators that the Deputy Commissioner of Police is talking about is since September.
I don't know, but while we were in the interview on Nationwide, the host told us that he just make a call to a high level, a senior commander in the JCF, and the commander told him that it is only 7 they have on their record.
Well,
now,
you a while ago, Mr. Finnegan.
Yes.
It's from Nationwide News, and I will read it again.
I know it. I saw it. I read it. I studied it. I practiced it.
Okay.
A release from the DCP.
Yes.
That is only 7.
Yes.
Now, then I saw another report came out today, not an official report, that 7 could be the accurate number, and the other numbers are persons who are not real taxi drivers.
All right.
And then I saw another release from DCP that says they have on their record people entering cars that were killed, people exiting cars that were killed.
All right.
I want to make it abundantly clear,
yes,
sir, that every time we hear of an operator that died, if President Newman heard, he called me off the platform. If I hear, I call him off the platform, and we will both say, this information we have is authentic, it is confirmed. Or we will both say, we cannot count this number, we can't go public because we can't confirm it. Last week, Thursday,
hold on,
operator.
Hold on, Mr. Finnegan, hold on for me. You remember I'm gonna say I want to have Egerton, Newman, and my good friend Louis Barton and Dudley come on back in. So Newman,
yes, let me just pick up from where my colleague Finnegan left off, because it was about to say last week Thursday there was a taxi operator who just came into the system. We learned that he was killed in his car in Crossroads, was shot and killed in his vehicle. But we didn't know him, and we didn't know of this man, we checked a number of people, and they didn't know of this man. And we decided we'd not add him to the figures until we know if he's a true taxi operator. And it took us 3 days. At the end of the 3 days, Sir Finnegan called me to say, yes, we have the information. He operates between downtown Kingston
Barbican
and Christlight, and sometimes goes to New Kingston. And yes, he's a young, new taxi operator just entered the system. So we try to be on point with our investigation in these operators. But let me tell you something, my brother. The point must be made that the transport sector in this country is not recognized. The transport sector, which is the movers and shake of the development of this country, need to be recognized. And I'm happy that these 3 presidents, maybe 4 presidents too, because we did not add the one voice to it, we are going to sit down.
Hold on for me.
Yes.
I invited our good friend Steve Essen to come on. I don't know what happened. He said yes, but I don't know what happened. Come on, continue.
Okay. Now, we are sitting down and we are working on a plan. We started the plan already, and I think Sir Finnegan mentioned a couple of things. We are going to start on Tuesday a public education campaign. Then on Friday, a weekly public education program to sensitize Jamaica as to the activities and programs of the public transport sector. But it's unfortunate, my brother, that the Deputy Commissioner of Police and the media accepted the number 7 because since the last 4 weeks, we have had more than 10 taxi operators. And I'm going to ask Mr. Finnegan to tabularize later on tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, since August 21 and September, the September 30 or September 29. Where are we now? How many transport? Because it would include a bus operator and it would include a female taxi operator, right? It would include also a taxi operator killed in Old Harbor on Sunday morning. It would include a taxi operator killed in the hills of St. Andrew a week and a half ago. Let me tell you, we are just getting the numbers that comes to us on our platforms. There are operators who are killed in Westmoreland that we don't know about because they don't have a number to call us and tell us. And what needs to be done from police high command is that all of their police districts, or what they call them, areas, finding from them of the operators who are killing their areas. So we have a challenge. We should not be going out there telling and finding and giving figures to public about how many taxi men did. It's the job of the police, not the transport sector.
Right. Let me get Dudley Thompson, and I get Louis to come on in. Dudley.
Yes.
In all that you just heard what Oscar Finnegan and Egerton Newman just said. As a journalist, can you still a journalist? What is your views on all what is going on? Because if the police is giving one figure, and the president of the taxi groups are giving another figure, you see that something is fundamentally wrong somewhere.
Really wrong. I'm not seeing the third figure right in front of me. And they said in 2018, it said 23 murders in 2018, right? Third figures.
Yes.
And 17 in 2019.
Thank you.
34 in 2020.
Yes.
41 in 2022. And 57 this year so far. And 69 this year.
69 this year. Last year it was 58, right?
That's
so you have the figures. Thank you, Dudley. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, man. I'm seeing figures right now. But I'm keep wondering about Jamaica transport. I think we need to go. I heard the thing about the police, but the task force and the panic button. But I'm saying, all right, in North America now, where it was talk about in Jamaica some years ago about dividing the driver from the passenger with the kind of mesh, I would say like in North America. I don't know if that can work in Jamaica. I don't know, based on our culture, to kind of divide the passengers from the drivers, like we see in North America. And secondly, the cashless taxi, cashless might be the thing, because most time when taxi when they're killed, sometimes is robbery. And to minimize that time of robbery, taxi could go cashless. Use the technology, get the cards, from to take a taxi, then pay by the card instead of pay by the cash. So if if taxi operators are not known to carry around cash, that can eliminate the robbery and the murder. That aspect could be eliminated, because most time when taxi operators are attacked, are killed, so that the motive is robbery in some instances. So you could eliminate that aspect. They don't cash in the car.
But hold on there now for me. When poor Aunt Mary or Sister Tim, who don't understand some of these older heads, don't understand how to use any card, how are they gonna call for a taxi?
The same. I look at it. The same ATM card is going to go ATM. The same card, because up here now, I take tax with my NCB ATM card. You don't need a special card. The same ATM
Dudley, I agree with you, Dudley.
And most Jamaicans now have a debit card.
Yes.
We go to bank no line long. We better not have a debit card. You just use your debit card. Simple. You don't need no high. Say you go to the head, you just put the card in the machine, and their money does that.
And sorry, Dudley, finish up thing, Dudley.
No, this one no to I think and next point that no. Most operators there's a talk recently about the cost to maintain a car in the system. I think the government is making it too difficult for a taxi to be on the road legally and earn a profit. Talk about the gas price is very high, the cost of parts is very high, tire, you talk about the road license, it's very high. That's why most of these operators tend to run robot than to go regular ride because at the cost. The government must also make it more cost effective for operators to run a taxi and make a profit. And start deter them from becoming regularized and keep on staying illegal. The last point might be very drastic. If you want to get that robot, don't carry in Jamaica one way. When police stop a robot, don't take a driver, take the passenger. That will deter them from taking a taxi. You go into a robot taxi, you get a ticket.
Yes.
It's also stop in Jamaica.
Louis Barton.
Policeman stop a robot taxi, don't just take the passenger and then stop ticket. Simple. Also you can't stop in Jamaica. Ticket them.
Very good point. Very tough point there. Go ahead. That is a very tough point, but it's worth looking into.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Newman.
The passenger, not the driver.
So Newman and Sir Tom. So
and then stop robot taxi.
Hold on for me, Dudley.
That was
so Barton, go ahead.
Yeah, that idea of giving of punishing the passengers was suggested some time ago, and it was shut down. Put it that way. I did not agree with it because, for one thing, it's going to be very hard to police, and I want to go back to the reason why we have this situation is lack of equipment, lack of supply of transportation. All of us know the problem of getting from Kingston to say Spanish Town or Kingston to Portmore or anywhere in Kingston at 5 o'clock work time or after school time, right? There's a lack of transportation. Now, if I have my little car that is a white plate, I'm going to come and say Portmore, and it's going to be flooded. Right now, we have a situation, and I was just talking to some operators yesterday, as I said, an operator who will come from with his legal red plate bus from Montego Bay, and he's in Kingston at 5 o'clock. He's going to go downtown. Some of them go downtown and take a trip to Spanish Town and come back because of the lack of vehicles, lack of equipment. And there's a high demand for it. So really, if you try to punish the passengers for taking robot vehicles, it's going to be very hard to monitor it, right? Now, I am saying what my whole thing is that we need to determine how many vehicles we need in the system. We need to make a survey by the Transport Authority or by some official organization, some expert organization, to see how many people traveling from Portmore to Kingston in the morning and how many people going from Kingston to Portmore to Spanish Town to Old Harbour to wherever in the evening, and get the right amount of vehicles to take them.
Like a quota.
Yeah, you have to do something. But if the government cannot provide all the vehicles that are necessary, then there are enough vehicles, privately owned vehicles right now in the system that can come in and legalize them and carry passengers where you will be relieving. It will be a relief for the demand. You're fulfilling the demand for transportation. But you need to do some survey and yeah.
But the cost, it's a cost again. And to get regularized, that's a problem.
No, the cost of what?
To get to move from robot to become regularized taxi operator. When it comes like the road license, it's a cost.
I am saying, Dudley, you remember maybe about 4 or 5 years ago or more, when they took out about 400 coaster buses out of the system, just from Portmore, just in the Kingston metropolitan area, where these were sub-franchised. They took out about 400 buses. Those buses still exist. They still exist in the system. And they are sitting down in some of the backyard where fowl can lay egg in them. That's the talk. You know? But they still exist.
Gentlemen, what we fail to understand here now, this evening, that the government of Jamaica cannot tell the people of this country the true figures of how many Jamaicans were murdered. They can't give the true figures of how many taxi riders were murdered. You think that they have anything to say, okay, they need 100 bus or 100 cars in the public transport system?
Well, Jeffrey, that is the way to go. If we're not doing that, then we're catching hell, and we forever catch hell, because you cannot have a modern system that's going to service people if you don't know what you're servicing or how you're servicing them. You have to have a survey. And and I agree with you. The government right now, they can't even tell you whether 7 people die. Here, Mr. Finnegan said he has a list of 29 funerals that he attended, right? So they cannot even tell you that it's 7 or 29 or 100. So their figures are not correct. Their figures are not credible, as one minister told me in the past. But in addition to that, right, there is the economic aspect of it. They are not calculating. They are not keeping figures. Show Statin, because Statin is the organization that keeps statistics.
With all due respect to you, I don't give a damn thing Statin saying.
Well, probably so, but you see, we can question that. But there's a systematic way that they make collection, and we can question it as well. If you're supposed to do this in half a tree, you didn't do it, so you're wrong. So we can force them into a system that they can collect in a systematic way, but it must be done. Right now, Statin cannot tell us how much contribution that transport operators made to the economy. No, I consider it a crisis. You don't know how much this sector, the people in the sector is contributing. That's a crime. That's a serious crime, and therefore they cannot plan for us.
But they can tell the people of this country that unemployment is down of how much 0%. But they can't tell the public transport sector how much they contribute to the Jamaican economy.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we're in a serious situation.
It's about politics.
The data is politics. The data is depending on which political lining you're on. It's not concentrated on Jamaica. Is how much is which party you belong to, or is which government in force. We can't continue like this.
Louis Barton, Oscar Finnegan, Dudley Thompson, and Egerton Newman. Let me say something to you. There is 3 gentlemen on this platform older than me. I believe they must be the same age. Let me say something to you. We are living in a country where I keep on saying it, and I must stop saying it. And I know my good friend Newman not to stop saying it. Jamaica is knocking behind Haiti's back door. We are facing a fundamental problem in this country.
We're not too far from Haiti.
We are knocking behind Haiti's back door with the crime pandemic we face in this country. And nobody give a flying kahuna. The Minister of National Insecurity come out and tell the people some half-ass figures. Along with the Commissioner of Police is the same thing. The crime in this country, Jamaica's crime, from Jamaica's tally, and it's more than that. From January to September, it's 1,120 something Jamaicans have been murdered in this country. And you hear nothing from the Prime Minister, nothing from the Minister of National Security, and nothing from the Commissioner of Police. They come on and chat some stupidness sometimes to the people of this country. We are knocking behind Haiti's back door. And if we, the people, don't stand up in this country and say enough is enough and do something, then may God help us.
I heard they said crime is down in one parish because it dropped from 35 to 30. So crime is down. Oh my God.
Mr. Finnick, you still there with us?
Right here listening on.
Yes. I'm asking something to know. If we have a commission, if we have a minister of national security, cannot secure his own constituency, how on earth can he secure Jamaica?
All right, look at this. Look at this. Jamaica's Minister of Health is a person who is a PR practitioner, right? Or Minister of Security is a medical doctor. So they rank people in the wrong portfolio. So what do you expect? The man is a medical doctor. Not a wrong portfolio.
You know, Dudley, let me come here because I'm going to lose my battery in a matter of minutes. So let me come here.
Every time I come on this program, you say you have no go, you have no lose. But what happened to you?
Yes, I am not close to my charge. But don't worry, sir. Don't worry about that. I want to make a very important point. I am not too concerned about government and politics. I am very concerned that in my book, 76 taxi operators in my book has been killed since the start of the year. The question is, will it reach 124 by the end of the year? What are the strategies in place by the sector and the government to have that reduced? What are the recommendations from the sector to the government to have that reduced? Something must be done. And we are making it loud and clear here that come Tuesday morning, it'll be a national day of mourning, whether the police says 7 and Finnegan, Barton and Newman says 60, 76, whatever number it is. We are calling not for divine intervention now, because remember my team don't like divine intervention, but I'm calling for help to arrest the problem of the bloodletting of our people in the public transport sector. I cry for help.
Mr. Finnegan?
Yes, sir.
What is the solution to Jamaica's crime problem and the public transport sector problem? What do you think is the solution, Mr. Finnegan?
Before I get to the solution, in the press conference we had, we sent out an official figure of 77. In the press conference that we had,
yes,
we had sent out a figure of 77 persons. Apparently, the person that makes 7, he was beaten till he was unconscious. And so all the operators that saw him on the ground, including a prominent lawyer, immediately notify us that another operator is dead.
My God.
But he recovered consciousness in the University of the West Indies. And immediately as I confirm it, I called President Newman and said, let us reduce the figure. So the official figure is 76. Now, I noticed that Barton and the other gentleman before him mentioned about Dudley Thompson, mentioned about robots. I want to make it clear that none of the 76 operators that we have counted were operating as robots, except with an exceptional one. And this one has been operating for 22 years within the sector. He is highly respected. He got his new car on the Thursday. So there was no time to get on the red plate so quick, and he was killed the Friday night. But he has been operating red plate. He started in robot years ago. And the history is when the police was driving down one of his colleagues that was running to save his car, the police shoot him and kill him. And he called a meeting immediately and said, we can fight the system. So let us join the system. and he started the first transportation group and lobby with Transport Authority. So he's the only one that was driving a white plate at the time, and the circumstance he just got it the Thursday, he was killed the Friday. There are 5 other
If I could,
operators.
if I could jump in
There,
to add to that, Sir Finnegan, that operator, most of us will know him. He was killed by a female, and he was
yes,
operating under one of those app service, right? And his funeral, his burial could not be held on the day of the funeral, and we have a big uproar because we were worried if he was buried on that day, what could have happened. So we know these things. We have the information. We didn't think it was our responsibility to give them to the police because we employ police officers to do the job, and it end up now that we seem to have to be doing the job for the police by
so
providing
members
them
of the
with
panel,
information instead of them providing us with information. Yes, sir. Sorry
so
about that.
members of the panel, separate and apart from that one that was driving that white plate the night under the circumstances, there are 4 more within the numbers that we have tallied that, based on our thorough investigation, these 4, even though they were known PPV operators for years, based on our deep investigation, they were involved in questionable activities. And so even though we count them, not only I had decided not to attend their funeral, but I was also advised by operators within the respective location.
Mm-hmm.
One of them that died just in the 17th of August. This one is a known PPV operator for years, but the circumstances in which he was killed, even though I count him on my list, I have an asterisk because there are allegations against him and he was mobbed by citizens. But separate and apart from that, he was really a taxi operator. And I make this point for the public to know that myself and President Newman and President Barton and President Williams, we didn't just come up and pick some numbers out of our head. Every time it goes on the platform, you will see some things marked RIP coming, or some other thing says condolences, or some other thing says we send out our prayers for his family. So it is something that has been reported once we get it and we are able to confirm it. Just to let you all know also that within this period of January till now,
Mm-hmm.
we have an operator that was abducted from his home. His body was found 3 days later. We have an operator that was shot in his back in Manchester. He survived. We have an operator that they stole his firearm at a funeral in St. Anne. He was not harmed. We have 3 operators that were kidnapped. 2 came back alive. 1 to this day, we haven't found his body or heard anything about his whereabouts. We have an operator 2 weeks in the hospital. He was shot in his belly. He had a licensed firearm, so he was able to fight off those attackers right on Duke Street. We have an operator 3 weeks ago that was shot in his arm. It was a robbery in Pembroke Hall.
Yes.
But he was able to escape with just a shot to his arm. And there are so much more of them that have escaped with their life by the tin of their teeth. And there are operators that would have died that we have not gotten information on them. When President Newman called me yesterday evening that Nationwide wanted an interview, and he told me what was happening is, I said to President Newman, the police are going to shift the blame to me and him, that we are creating those figures. I told him that before I went on here. And I said, the second thing the police are going to do is to create a figure for themselves to try to discredit us. I have lived and worked in 10 parishes. And in all my life from age 14, anywhere I go, I associate myself with the community relation department of the police force in that location and assist them with police youth club, citizen association, neighborhood watch, and farmers group. And in a particular where the crime was very high, I spent 16 years in that parish, pastor 4 churches in that parish. And when I look at what was reported in the media, I went to the individual that was in charge of the reporting and I said to her, how do we have this amount of killing last night? And then this is the figure that comes out. And she said to me, when she take the tally to the superintendent, he told her to leave it to him. And he has always been under-reporting the crime in that parish. I call a senior police that used to work where the passport office used to be on Marcus Garvey Drive or Spanish Town Road. And I called him and I said, we're having this problem in this parish. And he said to me, somebody is going to call me. Another senior police officer called me. I have never met him. And he said to me, tell the police that is in charge of the crime statistic to continue to report to the superintendent, but also send the report to him. And after 3 reports that did not coincide with what was coming out in the paper, they called in the superintendent to commissioner office. The point I'm trying to make, the police will always report a low figure for whoever are in charge to say, well, the superintendent is this division is doing well and the superintendent in that division is doing well. President Finnegan have no reason to come out in the public and create something that is not true. Because one, I know that I can be charged for making public mischief. And as I have said repeatedly, that if I am not sure of the report that come to me, I said, President Newman, let me investigate it. The one in Crossroad take me 3 days because everybody that serve on my executive, serve in my organization, they said, President Finnegan, we don't know him. I said, but the man was driving a red plate. How nobody don't know him? And when I get the final report, he is less than a month on the road. He was testing out 3 routes to see which one he would be comfortable with. So with that type of information, he would not have been well known.
Right.
So I am sticking to the figure that I have produced.
Okay.
The final thing I want to say before I get cut off is that I have repeatedly stated from last year, February until now, and I continue to say it. The reason why the Statistical Institution of Jamaica, the National Security Ministry of Jamaica, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force don't have the figure that we have, or even have a figure near to it, is that the public transportation sector has not been shown any respect and any regard from these agencies and from government.
Yes.
And I say this because a number of reasons, but I'll give one. One who died from any sector in this country. The police have 3 scripts that are immediately published across the electronic and printed media.
Yes.
One says, we will not leave no stone unturned until we bring the perpetrators to justice. The other script state, if you are from prominent society, the police will be using...
If you're from the people of the Vumvavan, the Vumvaveen.
The police will be using all available resources to track down these criminals and bring them to justice, and they will be getting the full extent of the law.
Yes.
The third script says, the chaplaincy unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force will be offering counseling to the colleagues of the slain individual and grief counseling to the family. I am putting myself on the record. I have never heard none of these scripts read for any operator or investor that died in the public transportation sector of Jamaica. Now, why the effort will be made to investigate the killing of any other person that died in any other sector, and they will be getting grief counseling and the colleagues will be counseling, but no investigation for the public transportation sector and no grief counseling for the public transportation sector, simply because it doesn't matter what anyone is. The evidence before me is that one, we are looked down on, and two is the agencies of state, the government of Jamaica, have no respect, no regard for the public transportation sector. We walk with 5 letters begging 5 government ministers, including the Prime Minister. Give us some time to pay you. While we are paying you, save us our tool of trade. And there were some other things. Give us a little amnesty.
Yes.
For 3, 4, 5, or 6 months. And in the same time, we were asking for time to pay, which the government rejected. The government was actively promoting a amnesty for the very same gunmen that have now killed near 1,000 citizens of Jamaica, and in that 1,076 operators and investors in the transportation sector.
I am any government that point, Mr. Finnegan. I'm gonna read something and play something here. Like I play something here to make everybody on the sound of our voice and who's watching and listening to us. As a matter of fact, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We're talking transport this evening. With me, Egerton Newman, president of JATU. Louis Barton, president of the Jamaica Association Owners and Taxi Operators. With me also Lorraine Finnegan, owner of the All Voice Taxi Group. I want you to listen to this from me.
Since January 1 this year, there have been 1,114 reports of missing persons. 729 of those are women. Of the total number reported missing, the majority, 800, have returned home. However, the JCF statistics reveal that 289 of those cases remain unsolved. 25 of the missing persons have dead. According to the JCF, it has received 699 reports of children gone missing. More than 140 of those children are still missing. Fortunately, 553 of those missing children have returned home. 566 of the children reported missing were girls. Males generally account for the lion's share of deaths in the instances of missing persons report. The JCF says 21 of the 415 males reported missing are confirmed dead. Meanwhile, the JCF could only confirm the death of 4 females after a missing persons report was filed. The disturbing data come amid growing concerns over the disappearances of several Jamaicans, including 10-month-old Soraya Paulwell and her mother, 27-year-old Tashina Patterson. Both are related to vegetarian Philip Paulwell. Additionally, Millicent McCurdy, mother of missing artist Medic, issued an emotional plea during a peaceful protest on Tuesday in the capital.
It is so silent. I am not hearing nothing at all from no one at all. I don't know what is happening. I am not hearing nothing at all. Jamaica, I am desperate. I'm seeking you to come and move me. I need a nation. Mighty God, I need help.
McCurdy joins a long list of Jamaicans who are unsettled and fearing the worst sudden and tragic disappearances of their loved ones. Our news team made several tries to contact relatives of some of the missing persons mentioned. However, our efforts were futile.
Now tell me something now. Gentlemen, I want you to take off on a transport hat. Pardon me? Are you all hearing me? Mr. Newman disappear.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, we're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up this. I want to ask this question. Louis Barton, check off and ask a Finnegan. Check off your presidential hat of being transport operator. Our presidential.
Jeffrey, I believe shortly.
Yes, I know that. We're gonna wrap up this thing now. But I want to ask this question before we go. I want you all to answer me this question. As a Jamaican citizen, we're 61 years old. Don't you think that successful government has failed the people of this country to come on to securing them proper health care, proper education, and the basic thing is running water? Louis Barton?
Well, yeah, I think the system that was forced upon us after independence wasn't for us. It wasn't not designed by us, and it wasn't designed for us. It was designed to keep a foreign power in place, in control of us. I really have no faith in the system. As you say, after 61 years, we should be far better able to protect our citizens, especially not even the individuals, but we can't even protect a whole sector. You know, I can understand you can protect an individual at their backyard or their front yard, but you can't protect the entire sector. That doesn't make sense. You can't protect the banking sector that is having money delivered to them. You can't protect the transportation sector. You can't even protect the police force cannot protect themselves. The system that we inherited that was forced on us is a waste.
Yes. Dudley, your final word.
Well, as you said, I agree. It was designed for us at all. It was designed for the bumper van and the bumper V. Because it wasn't designed for us none at all. Because right now they're trying to go Republican to be just another trying to hang on to power a little longer. Because they want to have a president that is like a figurehead. So what happened in Jamaica now, it's by design. Was it for us? No time at all, and still not for us. So it's a total failure. Total failure. We're going backwards. I say not too far from Haiti. Honestly.
Yeah.
In 2013 rather, the then Minister of National Security, when crime get out of control, Peter Bunting, he went to a function in Mandeville and he asked for divine intervention. In 2021, as opposition spokesman, he went back to the Senate and asked for divine intervention. The Minister of Tourism asked for divine intervention for the then National Security Minister in 2021. Now, the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, the DCP in charge of crime, they have repeatedly, in a number of times, tell us how many gangs are in this country, how many members are in each gang, how many violence producers are in this country, how many repeated offenders. If the government of Jamaica have these evidence before them through their intelligence-driven JCF and JDF, why are they not dismantling these gangs? Why are they not bringing the violence producers before the court? And why are they not doing something about the repeated offenders?
Yeah.
You can't have this information before you and tell us that you have it. But then you sit down and wait until there's a flare-up of violence in a particular location. You call state of emergency and curfew. And these states of emergency, when they are called, the Prime Minister, the Commissioner, the Minister of National Security, the Governor General, go on national television, call a press conference to announce that come 6 o'clock this evening or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, there's going to be a state of emergency in this location. What are you telling the criminals to do?
Run!
Migrate to somewhere else. And these are the crime-fighting methods that the government of Jamaica has been using over and over. And the only people that are affected by it, and the only people who are affected by it is the law-abiding citizens.
True.
I drop home 4 young men that work at a hotel one night. And by the time I reach home, I get called from their parents that they were in police custody. Coming from work at a reputable hotel. But police take them up under the state of emergency. We can't continue to use those methods. They are not crime-fighting methods. And if the government of Jamaica know that they run out of idea and they can't manage the affairs of the country, the honorable thing to do is to step aside. I can't see it no other way.
Mr. Finnegan, the bank yam out them brain.
No.
The problem we have there though, the problem we have there though is what is the alternative? So my final word is members. My final word, so Jeffrey.
Yes, your final word. Go ahead, Mr. Finnegan.
Yeah, my final word is the 4 presidents that are being mentioned, we are going to be working very hard on the sensitization program. And we are going to be looking at areas for personal security, not necessarily physical security, but electronic security. When I was operation consultant for a security company, a number of our clients apply for what is called a panic button. So this button can be carried on their person. And if they suspect that they're under attack, they could just touch it, and within 5 to 15 minutes, one of the response team would be on location. We need to look in those areas. And we are going to be encouraging drivers to look at all the available security measures that are out there that we can apply to. And I know it is expensive because my daughter just did one 2 days ago and it cost her $65,000. It is both on her car and on her person.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking, because before I came up, I had one on my vehicle with Hawkeye.
Yes.
Where anywhere in Jamaica I go,
yes,
if anything should happen and I press that button, any response team that is in the location,
yeah, they will be there.
They will be there, and I did it personally, and I did it purposely.
And I can tell you,
when I was in the I did it purposely one day, and in less than 2 minutes, or 5 minutes,
they were at your foot.
They were at my foot, and Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Yes.
Some business people used to do it to me when I get on the location. They said they were testing if it really worked.
Yeah.
And just to let you know that we have at least one operator that I know personally. He has a couple of vehicles on the road, and 3 of those vehicles are connected to the ICAI system.
Yes.
The others are just connected to his phone.
Right.
So we're going to have to look in these areas, because as much as we feel upset the way we are not 100% looking to government for any special protection for the public transportation sector. We're looking for that special protection for the citizens of this country. But those areas that has to do like extortion, then that is the government responsibility to deal with that.
Yes.
And in my investigation recently, the police are telling our operators that for them to deal with it, our operators have to give them a written statement and then go to court. And I said to them that the police know that if you do that, police will have to escort you from the court to the airport to an undisclosed location. So that is foolishness. That is a stupid idea coming from the JC.
Dr. Thompson, Oscar Finnegan, Louis Barton. Do you have something to say?
No, I don't want to extend it.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Louis Barton, Oscar Finnegan, Dr. Thompson, and Egerton Newman. Thank you all for coming on to the Make We Talk Transport this evening.
Yes.
I just want to say to my fellow Jamaicans out there, all we have to do is stand up and demand accountability, demand a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And when the time comes to vote, vote!
Yeah.
The time has come for us in this country to rally around a single cause and a single purpose. And Jamaicans, the time is now. The public transport sector, the time is now for you to stop the SPNP and JLP shibangarang in this country. And think about your safety. Enough of JLP and PNP and think about Jamaica. This land is bleeding from within. Until you hear my voice again, I am Jeffrey Tavares saying thank you all. Thanks to Dr. Thompson, Oscar Finnekin, Gunmen, and Egerton Newman. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. God bless you. Until we come again tomorrow with another discussion. Have a good evening, everyone.
You too. Thank you.
Join me, yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares, on Make We Talk on WZPP and WZOP Radio this Monday, October 2nd, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. U.S. time, or 12 noon to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. My special guest will be President of the People's National Party and Opposition Leader Mark Golding. We'll be discussing issues facing Jamaica and Jamaica's future. We'll be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, WZPPradio.com. Our studio numbers are 850-446-0562. That's Make We Talk on WZPP Radio. Join me, yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares, on Make We Talk on WZPP and WZOP Radio this Monday, October 2nd, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. U.S. time, or 12 noon to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. My special guest will be President of the People's National Party and Opposition Leader Mark Golding. We'll be discussing issues facing Jamaica and Jamaica's future. We'll be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, WZPPradio.com. Our studio numbers are 850-446-0562. That's Make We Talk on WZPP Radio. Join me, yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares, on Make We Talk on WZPP and WZOP Radio this Monday, October 2nd, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. U.S. time, or 12 noon to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. My special guest will be President of the People's National Party and Opposition Leader Mark Golding. We'll be discussing issues facing Jamaica and Jamaica's future. We'll be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, WZPPradio.com. Our studio numbers are 850-446-0562. That's Make We Talk on WZPP Radio.
You know, see, all now the leader them now look down. All our people them we want to see a better Jamaica. Make me see this. Level, take them down. You're not gonna see a better Jamaica till you start vote for the country and the policy, and not a MP, a prime minister, nor a councillor, but the policy they presented. We don't vote for party or personality, we vote for policy. And you want a shop on the plaza, it's in US dollar.
My God.
Rich. Everything are run by China. Road are run by China. Government are run by America. Can I preach? Can I preach? Native citizen, we can't hold nothing down here. Can I preach? Chinese are take over. I feel my belly. Somebody say, whoa. We need deliverance. We need the blood. We need Jesus. We need help. Can I preach?
Him Papa Dad. Dubplate. Get rid of this evil Prime Minister.
That jaded mean you must dip in it. But I say to Andrew Holdings, you better understand that puts are wrong
I got arrested a few times. During the 60s, I went to jail 40 times. Since I've been in Congress, I've been arrested another 5 times. And I'm probably going to get arrested again for something. I'm not suggesting that any of you should go out and get arrested. But when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, stand up and say something. Do something. I gave a little blood on that bridge in Selma 53 years ago. I almost died. Some of my friends and colleagues were murdered in Mississippi and other places. I'm not asking any of you to give any blood. I'm just asking you to go and vote like you never voted before. We have to vote. The vote is the most powerful nonviolent instrument or tool we have in a democratic society, and we must use it. Use it. Go out and vote. Let's go out and vote.
Join me, yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares, on Make We Talk on WZPP and WZOP Radio this Monday, October 2nd, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. U.S. time, or 12 noon to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. My special guest will be President of the People's National Party and Opposition Leader Mark Golding. We'll be discussing issues facing Jamaica and Jamaica's future. We'll be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, WZPPradio.com. Our studio numbers are 850-446-0562. That's Make We Talk on WZPP Radio.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we live